Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Jones. We are going to start a unit on geometry. This first part that I go through with you will probably be a bit familiar, but we want to review it and make sure that everyone has the same information and vocab. We're going to start with classifying triangles. So before we do that, I just want you to take a few seconds and brainstorm. What do you already know about triangles? I'm guessing you came up with some of the things on this list. Triangles have three sides, they have three angles, they have three vertices or points where the sides meet. They have different types based on their sides and their angles. And the sum of the angles of a triangle must equal 180 degrees. When we classify triangles, they have a first name and a last name, and their first name is based off of their angle size. We have three types for this. The first is an acute triangle. An acute triangle has all three angles that are less than 90 degrees. The second one is a right triangle, and a right triangle has one angle that is exactly 90 degrees, and that's this one marked with a square. That tells us that it's exactly 90 degrees and it's a right angle. And then our last type is an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle or one angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So an acute triangle has three angles that are less than 90 degrees. A right triangle has one angle that is exactly 90 degrees. And an obtuse triangle has one angle that is greater than 90 degrees. Now for a triangle's last name, that's based on their side lengths. And again, we have three. Before we go through them, we need a new vocab word. And that word is congruent, which means equal. Whenever in geometry we want to say that two things are equal, we use the word congruent. So the first type of triangle based on its side length is equilateral. Equilateral means that all three sides are equal or congruent, and we know that because of these pink tick marks. Because each side is marked with one of them, we know that they are all equal, and this is an equilateral triangle. The second one is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles means that two sides are equal, and again we know that because of these tick marks, these two sides are marked as being the same, so it's an isosceles triangle. And our last one is scalene. Scalene means that none of the sides are equal, there are no congruent sides. We know that because none of them are marked as being the same. So again, equilateral means all three sides are congruent. Isosceles means two sides are congruent. Scalene means that no sides are congruent. So we're going to try some practice. I want you to try to come up with the name of the triangle based on its angles and its sides, so its first and last name. I'm going to show you the triangle, give you a few seconds to come up with your answer, and then I will tell you what it is. Here's our first one. This triangle is a right scalene triangle. I know it's right because of this 90-degree angle, and I know it's scalene because none of the sides are marked as the same. Here's our next one. This is an acute isosceles triangle. I know it's acute because all three angles are less than 90 degrees, and I know it's isosceles because these two are marked as being congruent. Here's our next one. This is an obtuse isosceles triangle. I know it's obtuse because of this 120-degree angle. I know it's isosceles because these two sides are congruent. And try our last one. This is an acute scalene triangle. Even though we don't know this measurement, I can see that it's less than a 90-degree angle, so all three are less than 90 degrees, making it acute, and none of the sides are congruent, so that makes it scalene. We are going to switch from triangles to quadrilaterals. So again, take a few seconds and brainstorm. What do you already know about quadrilaterals? I bet you came up with some of this information. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides. They have 4 angles. They have 4 vertices. They are also classified in different types based on their sides and angles, and the sum of their angles must be 360 degrees. When we classify quadrilaterals, their system is a little bit different, and we look at it through a family tree. So it looks like this. We're going to start up at the top with just a basic quadrilateral. So all that we can say about this quadrilateral is that it has 4 sides, 4 angles, and 4 vertices. There's nothing else that defines it. From there, the quadrilateral family tree breaks off into 2 different branches. The first side is the trapezoid side. Trapezoids have 4 sides, 4 angles, and 4 vertices. But what makes them special is that they have exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. Parallel, remember, means that they are lines that run next to each other, but they never cross. You can think of the sides of a railroad track. They never intersect, they never cross, they go side by side, but never meet. We know that these 2 sides are parallel because of these pink triangles. That triangle is used to mark that they're parallel. So a trapezoid has exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. The other side of the quadrilateral family tree is the parallelogram side. Parallelograms are quadrilaterals that have 2 pairs of opposite sides that are also congruent and parallel. So these 2 sides are opposite. They are parallel. We know that because of these triangles. They both have 1 triangle to mark that they are parallel. And we know they're congruent because they both have 1 tick mark marking that. The other pair of opposite sides is also parallel. We know that because they have 2 triangles marking that they are parallel. And they are congruent because they have 2 tick marks marking that those 2 sides are congruent. Okay, so trapezoids have 1 pair of parallel sides. Parallelograms have 2 pairs of parallel and congruent sides. Parallelograms then split off into 3 other quadrilaterals that you're familiar with. So one is a rectangle. Rectangles are parallelograms and they are quadrilaterals. You can go back up the family tree. But rectangles are defined by having 4 right angles marked by these squares in their corners. Another type of parallelogram is the rhombus. What makes a rhombus special is that it has 4 congruent sides, marked again by these tick marks. And then the last type is a square. Squares are very special because they have 4 right angles, like a rectangle, and they have 4 congruent sides, like a rhombus. Okay, so squares are a type of rectangle, they're a type of rhombus, they're a type of parallelogram, they're a type of quadrilateral. They are very specific, they combine all of those. Okay, so that's our family tree. You can go back to this slide for your different classifications anytime that you need to. We're going to do some practice, and I want you to try to give me these shapes' most specific name of these options. So you can call it a quadrilateral, a trapezoid, a parallelogram, a rectangle, a rhombus, or a square. Okay. What do you think this shape would be? This one is a rectangle, and we know that because it has opposite sides that are congruent, but it also has 4 right angles, so that's a rectangle. Here's our next one. This one is a trapezoid because it has 1 pair of parallel sides. Here's the next one. That's a square because it has 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. Try this one. Now this one, I'm guessing a lot of you want to call a kite, but we didn't talk about a kite. The best name that we can give this one is a quadrilateral because we know it has 4 sides, 4 angles, and 4 vertices, but none of the sides are parallel, so it can't be a trapezoid, and it can't be any type of parallelogram. So the best name for this one is a quadrilateral. Try this next one. This is a parallelogram. The opposite sides are parallel and congruent, and these opposite sides are also parallel and congruent. So that's a parallelogram. And try this last one. That one is a rhombus because it has 4 congruent sides, but it's not a square because the angles are not right angles. So this one is a rhombus. All right. Here's what to do next. You can rewatch this video as much as you need to. You can go back to it as notes if you need to see the family tree, or if you need to see the different types of triangles, go back to whatever part you need. Then on Google Classroom, you'll see some independent practice that we want you to try. This is not anything that you need to turn in, and it's not a grade. We just want you to see if you're understanding this information. You'll also see an answer key on Google Classroom that you can use to check your practice. If you have any questions on the practice, please feel free to go back and rewatch this video, ask somebody at home for help, or please feel free to email me or Mrs. Gall if you have questions, and we will help you the best that we can. Then you will see a video that Mrs. Gall is recording for perimeter and area, so you'll watch that and do the next steps for that one. If you guys need anything, please feel free to email me or email Mrs. Gall. We miss you guys. We hope that you are doing well. And thank you for doing some math. Have a good rest of your day.